What's going on, second grade? Mr. Hunter here. I have your math lesson for today. We are going to be working out of pages 221 and 222. So all you need today is your worksheet. You need your pencil. You're going to need a ruler. And just like we said before in the other classes, you're going to need an open mind. Take a deep breath, relax. This is something that is unique. We're all working from home. We're doing something different. But if you pay attention, you stay with me, I promise you, you will be able to get a lot of work done. You'll be able to not only to get the work done, you'll be able to understand what you're working on and then be able to move forward. As you're going from second grade into third grade, you're going to be learning a lot. You're going to be able to take these skills and apply them to the work that you're going to learn even moving forward. All right, so we're going to jump right in. But before we do, on page number 221, you do write your name, you write the date. We're going to be going over some Roman numerals. We're going to be going over before and after numbers. We're going to be going over borrowing from the thousands place. We've worked on the hundreds place, but now we're going to take it a step further. We're going to go to some big numbers. These are 4-digit add-ins and subtraction problems where we're going to find the differences. We're going to find the facts. All right. So before we do all of that, we had an introduction to multiplication. And I really want to explain to you because some of you may still be confused about multiplying this times that. What does it look like? I'm going to do a simple breakdown for you so you guys can really get the concept, because tomorrow when we go into our lesson, we're going to be working with multiplication. And I want you guys to understand how you're looking at it. And when you get it, you're going to be able to work on so many different problems. It's not going to be an issue for you. All right, so take a look at my board here. All right, this is what we call the concept of multiplication. The concept is just the idea. What are we doing when we say we're multiplying? So right here, you see there are two groups. I have two groups of 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are little circles, little pies I have there. So I have two groups. How many groups do I have? I have 2. So we're going to take that and we're going to write the 2. All right. Now, how many do I have in each group? I have 1, 2, 3. Is it the same in that one? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I have 3. All right. So if I have two groups of 3, what I can say, yeah, you can add it up. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the addition. But that's a lot of counting. That's an extra step. What we do in multiplication is we're removing a step. So you have 3 in each group. So what you're going to say, if I add it up or times it, there's 2 groups times 3. So if I have 3 2 times, you can add really 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 times 3. All right. That is actually going to give us the answer of 6. I have 2 groups that have 3 in each group. So if I add up the groups, there's going to be 6 total. That's 2 times 3. But guess what? There's another way to do this problem in multiplication. What if I took right here and I said, you know what? I'm going to take my eraser. I want to take that one away. I want to take that one away. And I want to make a third group. So I'm going to put a third group down here. I'm going to put a third group of 2. And now I have 3 groups of 2. So what can I do? I can take the 3. And what do I need to do? I can times it times 2. And what is that going to give me? Is it going to give me a different answer? No, it's going to give me the same answer of 6, but it's just a different way of writing it. So 3 times 2, 2 times 3. This is just a basic form. When you look at it, if I say this, if I say 10 times 5 equals what? So I can say this. There's 5 groups of 10, right? There's 5 groups of 10. So I put 1, 4, and 5. All right, I have 10. That's one group. If I had 5 more of those, right? Right there, right there. All right, that's 2 groups. If I had 5 groups of 10, that's what it would be. So 5 groups of 10. So we're counting 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I have 5 groups and each one of my fingers is worth 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 groups of 10 is going to give me 50. Or if I wrote it the other way, right? If I said I had 5 or 10 groups of 5, all right? 10 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 10. I wrote that backwards, all right? 10 groups of 5, 5 groups of 10. You guys are understanding. It's really just about grouping. You can understand it. But really the main concept I want you to add. You had 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 groups of 2 equals 6 because there's 2, 4, 6. And if I did 2 times 3, then I had 2 groups, and each one of them had 3 inside of it. All right, that's just a little intro. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but I'm going to do some more work like that. But I just want you to get the basic idea, the basic concept of what it is to do multiplication. All right, so we're about to dive in. Make sure your name is on the top and your date is on the top of the page as well. All right, let's ready. Let's go dive in. All right, so you should be looking at the top of page 221. This is a word problem. It says Maya's class is reading about the Amazon jungle. Solve the problems to discover what they learned. And then you're going to write the answers in the colored boxes in the sentences. All right. Write the numbers for number 1 for Roman numerals. So do we have our Roman numeral sheet? If not, you should get that out because we're going to be working over that. Do we know what these letters mean? Well, let's look at X. We know X equals what? X equals 10 in Roman numerals, right? 10 in Roman numerals, right? I'm actually going to clear my board off so you guys have a little bit less to look at so you're not too distracted. All right, guys. So I cleared my board up for you a little bit more so you can have a little bit clearer understanding. We're going on number 1. It says, write the numbers for the Roman numerals. We are working, you have your sheet, maybe you know, but if we're going to write the Roman numerals, we need to know what they actually represent, what they mean. So let's take X. X equals 10. So looking at the first problem, it says LXXX. Now we know what X equals, so there's 3 X's there, but if you're writing it after a number, you have to find out what that number is. So L represents 50. Excuse me, I'm going to give that to you right away. So we have 50, and then we have 3 X's after that, and they all mean 10. What is our number going to be? So you have L, X, X, X. 50 with what? 10, 20, 30 after. So what we're going to do is we're add 50 plus 30, which is, all you're doing is adding the tens place. 50 plus 30, 0, and then 3 plus 5 is 8. So that number, LXXX, is 80. Don't be confused by all the numbers that it's throwing at you, okay, or all the letters that it's throwing at you. You just need to make sure you know the main ones. X equals 10 is something that we've been working on since the first day we started with Roman numerals. So we already know that. 3 X's is 30. 4 X's is 40. 2 X's is 20. They just represent 10. It's like counting by tens. But in Roman numerals, we don't have to use 10 X's to get to 100. They already have something that's a letter that represents 100. Anybody see? That, I didn't mean to say letter C, but yeah, the letter C equals 100. So you don't have to write 10 X's. You can just write 1C, and C equals 100. So since you know 1C equals 100, on the problem it says there are 2 C's. So if 1C equals 100, what are 2 C's? 200. What are 3 C's? 400. What are 5 C's? 500. Oh, wait a minute now. We don't have to write 5 C's. We can, but there's a Roman numeral that actually gives us that. It may not be on your worksheet, but the Roman numeral that gives us what 500 is the one Roman numeral up here that doesn't have a number next to it. And that is the number 500. D equals 500. So everybody, you can write that down. If it's not on your worksheet, you can write it down on there as well. D equals 500. So we don't have to write 10 X's because we have a C, another Roman numeral, or another number that equals 100. So we can write C. For letter D, we don't have to write 5 C's to equal 500 because we already have a number that's for 500. And then over here, M. M equals 1,000. That's a big number. But on the bottom right here, it says there are 2 M's. So again, similar to the last one. If we have 1 M that equals 1,000, what are 2 M's? 2,000. All right, so you guys are on it. You're on it pretty well. Now, here's a trick one that we learned in the beginning. All right, this one is a V and an I. What does a V equal? A V equals 5. And if you put an I after that, remember an I equals 1. So it's 1 after 5. That's the way to say it. 1 after 5. What is that? 1 after 5 is 6. So we've had all our numbers. We've put them down. We've learned a few additional ones. I want you guys to keep coming back to practice these. Remember, CC equals 200. But remember, C itself is 100. The letter L is 50. The letter M is 1,000. The letter D is 500. We can come back. We can keep quizzing to practice this. But this is something you can add to your repertoire or to your memory bank about what you're learning about Roman numerals. Okay? So now let's look at the bottom. Write the sums and differences for number 2. We have big numbers. We have thousands place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and the ones place. Let's try the first one because the first one is the biggest problem, and that's going to be a hard one. All right. All right. So let's take a look at that. We have the number 1,000, all right, 601. I'm going to stand up and write this down so you guys can see. 1,601. And it's addition problem, right? So we're doing an adding problem with a plus sign. Plus, and we have 2,000. Put your comma there, 375. So we're just going to add across there, all right? That's what we're doing for this because this is a problem where we're finding the sum, okay? You guys can see me there? We're finding the sum, all right? So when you look at this, we start over here because we're starting on the ones place. So 1 plus 5 is what? That is going to be 6. You guys are correct. And then we have a 0 plus 7. So that should be pretty simple. That's going to be a 7, all right? So now we have a 7, a 6 in the ones place, a 7 in the tens place. In the hundreds place, we have a 3 plus a 6. So what is that going to give us? If you have a number line, you can put it up there, but you guys should know that's going to give us 9. Now, what do I need to do here? We have 3 numbers. What do I need to do now? I need to add my comma. So we're going to add our comma on the bottom, and we're going to add 1 plus 2, which is going to give us, and how do we say that answer? 3,000, there's 3 thousands, 9 hundreds, 7 tens, 6 ones. So if you don't know what place it is, at the top, you can just write a tens. Oh, that's a thousands place. That's the hundreds place. That is the tens place, and that is the ones place, all right? So that is how you can break down a pretty big and a large number. Now, did we do anything fancy? Was there anything crazy that we added to it? No, we just took our time and we literally counted the numbers up. All of the problems will not be that easy, but you're going to be working with the thousands place pretty often as we move forward. All right, the next problem is a hundreds place, and then you're doing a subtraction for that problem and the third problem. So take your time. You're actually going to be taking away, but you're going to follow the same steps of just doing the numbers one at a time. Now, you'll need a ruler, and you're going to have to measure this line to see what it is in your book, all right? You're using the inches because it says inches at the back. So make sure you're using the right side, INCH, not the CM side. CM side is for centimeters, not for the inches. So you're going to use that. All right. Now, you're using all the answers from above, and you are going to actually put those answers in the letter in the boxes on the bottom. So when you measured the line, what is the answer that you receive? It says the Amazon jungle covers blank million square kilometers. Now, which of those answers up there at the top do you think would go in here? Is it the 80 for the Roman numerals? Is it the 2,000 for the Roman numerals with 2 M's? Is it 3,976? No, it covers 5.5 million square kilometers. So we're going to take that answer from number 3 where we measured the line. We're going to put it in that box, okay? That's how long the Amazon jungle covers. That's a lot of space. Letter B, it says the Amazon River runs through the jungle. It is about blank miles long. Now, what do we think? How many miles do we think it is? Is it 2,000 miles long? Is it 80 miles, 50 miles? What's a big number that we have that we work with thousands place, but we didn't have to subtract? We just added. If you guessed that 3,000 number, you are correct. We're going to put that 3,976 miles long in that blank. Then the sentence continues in letter B. It says, a man once swam all the way down the river. It took him blank days because he didn't swim at night. First off, I just want to say that is amazing and crazy at the same time. Somebody swam down the entire river. Go back to that last problem or the last answer that you just put, 3,976 miles. And there was a man that swam the entire mile or the entire way. That is crazy. He had a lot of strength, a lot of endurance, and had to be a really good swimmer. How many of you can swim? You swim pretty good? Would you, if you could swim as good as him, would you try that? Yeah, I can swim pretty good too, but I don't know if I would have tried that. I don't even know what's in the water when he swam with it. So pretty brave of him to do that. But he swam all the way down the river, and it took him how many days? 430 days? 6 days? 200 days? Let's look at another answer and the sums and differences. I think that number in the middle, 66, looks like a pretty solid number. Took him 66 days. That's 2 months. Every month has at least 30 or 31 days in it. And he took 66 days. So 2 months it took him to swim. All right, letter C. The Amazon is home to nearly how many kinds of animals or mammals? There's 500, there's 200. I think we are going to answer the 430. Why do we know these answers? Well, if you look at the boxes, they're yellow, they're orange, they're pink, they're green. Maybe you've noticed this already, but the answers in the box that we're answering right now, they're color coordinated. So the answers at the top, if you saw an answer inside there, you're going to put that down in the bottom. So we're just going through it, but I don't know if you figured that out by now, but they're all coordinated. So it's 430 kinds of mammals. That's a lot of mammals. I'm actually going to try to put another video inside the YouTube channel to show you what the animals look like, what the Amazon is. It's amazing. It's super beautiful. And it's something I think you would enjoy. And last but not least, about, there's a purple box, about blank percent of the kinds of food we eat first grew in a jungle, like chocolate. All right, chocolate grew in the jungle. Now, what box do we have that's purple that we have an answer for? Oh, look up at the top. It's that first Roman numeral. It's the one that has the LXXX. And what did we put in that box? We put 80. So 80 is the answer you're going to put for letter D. All right, check your answers. Go back. And again, if you didn't realize it already, the color coordinating of the boxes should have told you the answer beforehand, but I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to see if you figured it out. So if you figured it out, you beat me to it. If not, it's okay. We still got the right answer, and that's all that matters. All right, turn your page over. You're going to be on page 222, and we're borrowing from the thousands. This is going to be really, 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 really important that you pay attention here. All right, look at the box. At the top, it says subtract the ones place. That is the first step. What's the first step? Subtract the ones place. Where's the ones place? Ones place is all the way over to the right. Remember that, all the way over to the right, just like it says. Then the second step is subtract the tens place. Second step. So ones place, then tens place. Third step, the hundreds place, you're going to borrow 1,000 from the thousands place if you need to, okay? If something is less than. So look at the numbers there. It gives you an example. You have 7,398 minus 5,824. So 8 minus 4 is 4. 9 minus 2 is 7. But you can't take 8 from 3, so you have to borrow from the thousands place. That gives you a 6 for the thousands place. And then you take that 1, put it in front of 3. 13 minus 8 gives you a 5. And then at the end, it's a 1. So really, you're breaking it down piece by piece by piece by piece. There's 4 places. That's why I said it 4 times. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're going to jump right into number 1. All right. Are you guys ready? Let's go. All right. So I'm going to have my eraser here. We're going to write this number down. All right. So we have the number of 5,183. And then the next part of it is the number on the bottom that we're subtracting, 1,462. Now we're subtracting. It's a really big number, guys, but guess what? The same steps are for big numbers, just like they are for the small numbers. So you don't need to worry about how big the number is. So all we need to do is this. 3 minus 2 is what? 1. We're off to a great start. 8 minus 6 is what? You got 2. So you're going to put 2 there. Now, here's where we really have to pay attention, because remember, if you miss one step, it can mess up the rest of the problem. So you have to be very careful. It's just like doing the borrowing on the tens and the ones place. You're just in the thousands place. So you have 4. Can you take 4 away from 1? No, you cannot. So what do you have to do? You have to borrow. So you're going to cross that out. You're going to put that there. So it's a 4 now, but you have to take that 1 and bring it over here. You've added a 1. So now it's 11 minus 4. We can do that. 11 minus 4 is going to give us 7. Now, don't forget to put the comma, all right? My comma is a little out of place there, but I'll put another one there. So put the comma. If you don't put the comma, the answer can still be wrong. Now you have 4 minus 1. What is that answer going to be? 3. Is this the final answer? Did you guys get the same problem? Now, how do we say this? Remember, you got to say the places at once. 3,720. It's the tens place, 20, and the ones place. 3,721. That's what you need to say. All right. So that's a really simple way of breaking down the problem step by step. You're going to do the next 2 problems on your own. Trust me, you can do it. It's just really taking your time and applying the same concepts to this. All right. Number 2, write the differences. What is the difference? When you're subtracting, and you know a difference is going to look like that when you have the minus sign. So that's subtracting. Down at the bottom, write the before and after for the Roman numerals. So look at that. You have to look at the middle. Look at the number that's in the middle. You have to figure out what's the next number. So remember, what does the letter V represent? The letter V represents 5. So what do? Remember, in Roman numerals, we don't just write 4. We don't just write 4 ones. You have to put a 1 and then put the V. That's 1 before 5, right? So that would be 4, 1 before 5. But now, after the V, what do? We put the V first, and then we put a 1 after, because it's 1 after 5. So 1 before 5, 1 after 5. So you should have an I and a V, and then a V and an I, all right? I and a V, then a V and an I, which would give you, that's 4 and 6. And then in the middle, where that V is, that's going to be 5. All right? So 4, 5, and 6. All right, now your last one you're going to do is matching the Roman numerals with the numbers. If you want to, you can. You can go back and rewind the video to find out what do these numbers represent. Because remember, we went over them. You have the I. What does the I represent? It represents the 1, so you're counting right there. You know what the V represents? We just talked about that. The C, go back to the beginning of the video. It has all of that in there. And if you still have your worksheets that have the Roman numerals on them, it's okay. Go ahead and use it. It's not a problem. We're trying to get the concept so you remember what this is. So I'm not worrying. It's not cheating. You want to get the right answer and make sure you remember. So if it's something where you need to remember and memorize these Roman numerals and what they represent, go ahead. Give yourself 10 minutes a day. Have your parents or have a relative or a sibling, somebody quiz you on them and see, what does C represent? 100. What does V represent? 5. What does X represent? 10. And you'll start practicing this. And guess what? When you practice it, when you write it down, like we talked about in Bible class, you will remember it a lot more than you would if you didn't practice. All right? That's what you're going to do. You guys will be great. I'm looking here to make sure we went over everything. I think we're good. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's math class.